One of the most indecent things I've seen in the media, and there's a lot of it, is the resurgence of the fake news story involving the murder of 27-year-old DNC staffer Seth Rich. So today, we're going to be talking about an asshole who won't let that story go away, to the victim's family's dismay. Sean Hannity, and how he personally pushed a fake news story surrounding Rich's murder on national television last week.
Now, following Rich's death, there was suspicion that he may have been the source of the DNC emails that were leaked to WikiLeaks. Now, not the Russians, as the left claims.
But first, let's talk about what happened.
Seth Rich was shot and killed near his Washington, D.C. group house last July while working on a voter turnout project for the Democratic National Committee. 12 days later, WikiLeaks published embarrassing DNC emails. And 2 weeks after that, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange offered a reward for information about Rich's death.
And look, Julian Assange is also kind of a dick here, but here are some facts.
Washington, D.C. police say they found absolutely no evidence, having looked at Rich's computers, that he was ever in touch with WikiLeaks. His death, they say, appears to be the result of a botched robbery.
So the case is basically closed as of September last year, until now. Why? Because Sean Hannity decided to bring this conspiracy theory up after it seemingly went away for good. But why? Why would he do that?
That could completely shatter the narrative that, in fact, WikiLeaks was working with the Russians, or there was collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russians.
According to Hannity, it was a search for the truth. Or maybe it was a desperate attempt to distract attention away from all of the evidence emerging every goddamn day on the Russia-Trump connection. The lengths that Sean Hannity will go to suck Donald Trump's toes is alarming and sad. Once there was backlash from the family and a cease and desist order was issued, Hannity tried to hide his disgusting attempts at partisan cuckery in the face of overwhelming facts.
My heart and soul goes out to this Rich family, and I'm sorry, but I also know I would probably myself never recover as a father. And I also know that I'd want the truth as a father.
Oh, your heart and soul goes out to the Rich family, Sean. Is that why you shamelessly used their son's death to advance your unethical political agenda and were forced to stop after they came out and asked publicly for you and everyone else to stop? And to make the story even better, after being exposed for going full Glenn Beck on national television, never go full Glenn Beck, Sean started tweeting out further insanities like a madman in a tinfoil hat. He even went to the deep end, blaming shadow leftist billionaire George Soros, who, according to conservative conspiracy theorists on the internet, single-handedly finances every progressive blog/news source that they disagree with, including ours.
And the Soros flying monkeys who have the bots out spewing hate, spewing dissension, spewing revolution against the American government and the U.S. Constitution.
Seriously though, George, if you're out there, I'm totally open to funds. I mean, DM me, let's discuss it. Now the irony here is that there are real shadowy wealthy figures involved in the story, except it's not George Soros. It's the Mercer family and Ed Butowski. Ed Butowski, who personally financed the private investigator who looked into the Seth Rich murder. Ed Butowski, who is a friend of both Bob Mercer, computer scientist and owner of one of the most successful hedge funds, and Steve Bannon, racist founder of Breitbart and Human Skin Tag. And Fox News did eventually issue a statement and retracted their original article after the advertisers pulled a Bill O'Reilly and started backing out from Hannity's show. And now Hannity's going on an impromptu trip. Sound familiar? It's almost identical to what happened to Bill O'Reilly a couple months ago, but I'm not even going to talk about how irresponsible Fox News is and how little regard they have for accountability and ethical journalism and only react once advertisers threaten their bottom line. Because the implications of this story are terrifying. Right-wing media was established with the express purpose of moving the national discourse to the right and amplifying conservative messaging. And unfortunately, they succeeded by ruining US politics for good. But the promotion of this farce is uniquely terrifying for two reasons. Fox News is devoid of any moral boundary that would prevent them from willingly disseminating misinformation. While this isn't exactly new because, you know, they pushed that Obama was a Kenyan ISIS founder concept for years, but with Republicans controlling 3 branches of the government, right-wing media has lost all of its bearings and have gone off the deep end. They're basically a victim of their own success. You put these assholes in power. And while Fox News has been unofficially acting as a propaganda apparatus for the Republican Party since, I don't know, the Clinton years, now they're forced to defend the indefensible. They've lost their collective minds and the remaining shred of grounding they could have had in objective reality. Sean Hannity went full Glenn Beck, and everybody knows you never go full Glenn Beck. I'm Hassan Piker. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Hassan D. Piker and on Twitter at Hassan the Hun. And this has been The Breakdown.